How to do a top-down analysis. All right, so I already made my top-down analysis, as you can see here on my charts, but I was like, today is Sunday, this is Sunday midnight right now, but I was like, okay, why not just make a video out of it so people can learn at the same time. So right here in this chart, I'm going to remove every single one of this, and then we do a top-down analysis the way I did it, so you can also learn how to make it very, very simple and easy. So without further talks, let's get straight into it. So I'm going to remove all 5 drawings here. The first thing you want to do, personally, what I do is I use my number one indicator which I use here, which is the BOS and then the chalk by Nephew Sam. Okay, now people might tell you you don't need indicators, you can read price action just like that and this and that and that. Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, you can see how faster I'm going to be able to do things. As you can see, having indicators that matches my trading strategy. Okay, you can see change of characters, break of structure, change of character, change of character, change of character. So all those things help me rather than me drawing lines on the charts one after the other, looking at them for price action sake. Okay, so you want to make your life as easy as possible. You want to make it as simple as possible. You do not need to complicate trading. So far you make it as simple as possible. If there are indicators that can aid you, okay, you need them, use them. Doesn't matter what anybody says. All right, so let's look at the indicator settings first. This video is going to be kind of long, so stick to the end so that you can get the whole value of what I'm dishing out here. This is a very, 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 very educational and valuable video, so you don't want to miss out. If you have a very low retention rate, I'm sorry, but you're going to miss out on a lot of value I'm going to be dishing out in this video. So you can see it here, indicator, you show break of structure. It show higher high and higher lows. Okay, higher high, lower lows, higher lows, lower high, but I don't need that, so I untick them. I made it show my break of structure, the change of character. Then we have the bullish break of structure line, and then the bearish change of structure or break of structure line. Just customize it to fit your chart's color. Show FVG, okay, show FVG. I made it show FVG. You can also customize the color. Others are not really necessary. Then show other block. Yeah, I need to see other blocks. Okay, then delete other blocks after fill. Obviously you want to delete it so you don't have your charts clouded with so many things. And then show breaker blocks, that show BB after change of characters and break of structure. So that being said, that is the settings. I'm going to include the indicator name in the description of this video, so in case you don't grasp it, you can just check the description of this video and you will see the name of the indicator. So it makes your life easy if you trade supply and demand, smart money concepts, ICT. I don't care, as long as you trade price actions. Okay, these are simple things: break of structures, change of character. As long as you need those things in your charts, I definitely recommend this indicator. So now we want to start from the monthly time frame. Okay, since I want to be seeing what is going to be happening throughout the whole week, apart from the fundamentals that might spike up things, but just pure basic technical analysis. All right, so let me delete this alert I set here. I do make use of alerts a lot. I've been preaching this in my channel every time I make a video. You don't want to just look at price every single minute. Set alerts, walk away. When the market gets to your point of interest, you come back to the chart and then you do your thing. That's what I do to help me reduce my FOMO, or trying to like trade when I'm not supposed to trade. All right, so on the monthly time frame, we can see clearly here that the market is in an uptrend. We had this other block here. And price is heading towards this other block on the monthly time frame on Euro USD. Okay, so we had this other block, price is heading towards it. Now we had this break of structures to downward side. We had this strong downward side, we pull back, and then downward side and broke structure. And now we have this change of characters upward side. Okay, so now in this case, you want to see that okay, price is actually on an uptrend. It might look close. Okay, it looks close, but trust me, when we go lower in time frame, you will see that this thing is actually very very far. So now we have our monthly time frame, and then we can see what's happening here. We see that okay, this is a key level of order block here, so we want to be careful of this point. Price is most likely to react from there once it gets there. And now what about the downward part here? We have a breaker block here. So this is a breaker block here. I'm just going to mark this out quickly. All right, and then we are done. So those are the two closest points. Price can tap here, come to this breaker block, go back up. So we are done with that, and then we move to the weekly time frame. So we are narrowing it down little by little so we can eventually get to our real time frame in which we want to execute. All right, beautiful. So now on the weekly time frame, you can see that the same point in which I marked as a breaker block on the monthly time frame, it has already tapped into it. Okay, if you are being honest, it has tapped into this breaker block already, and then it respected. As you can see, the breaker block with the fair value gap to the right. Okay, so I'm going to move this like this to this point. All right, so moving that way. This is so far. This is so far in time. We're currently in July, right? This is as at the time of making this video. Let's leave it as August. All right, so now we move to the daily time frame. Now we have, now this is where things get much more sweeter to see. Let me zoom this in because you are going to be looking at my charts. All right, beautiful, beautiful. As you can see we kept adjusting the breaker block line. Now on the daily time frame, this is no longer the breaker block. Okay, we want to move it to this. On the daily time frame, we move it to this right here. Today is Sunday midnight as I'm making this video. So Monday, okay, let's extend it till Friday. Okay, now we can see that this is our area of supply on the monthly time frame, and then price is heading towards there. Most likely we might have a retest to, you know, get some orders, fill some orders on this breaker block here to continue higher. So and then we still have this there untouched. All right, so now let's move to the 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, we keep refining and refining. Why top-down analysis is very important is so you have a better confidence and a better confidence with what you're trading. Okay, now see on the 4-hour time frame, this breaker block is moved to this point. Okay, as you can see, we've been adjusting this breaker block since on the monthly time frame. So which means price is coming towards that point. Let's leave it, let's make it Friday. Yeah, Friday, the end of Friday. Okay, so now this is the 4-hour time frame. As we can see, we have a sell order block, sell order block. This is a breaker block. Why I'm saying this is because of the colors I set on my indicators. If you set it, it will mark out each thing. My green here is a breaker block. The white is an order block, a sell order block, and then a blue here is a buy order block due to my candlesticks bullish. Yeah, I changed my charts. If you watched my previous videos, you'll have noticed. Okay, so now this is a breaker block. We definitely know that price is going to react from here. This is the closest point. So what is that? This is, let's look at the price. That's 16413, 1.16413. So let's keep that 1.16413. 1.16413. Perfect. So now we have the exact number on the 4-hour time frame. And then where is the nearest supply zone? Okay, so we can see that price on the monthly is bullish, but narrowing it down to the 4-hour time frame, we have in mind that we are heading here, but you can see we are already forming numerous, sell order blocks. So which means price is coming here first. Where is the closest point? Here or here? Here is quite far. So where is the closest point in which price is coming to? Price is coming to this 4-hour breaker block here. So now we should be looking forward to selling to this point. Okay, so now where is the nearest order block? This is the nearest order block here. This is the nearest sell order block. We had this sell order block here that broke structure to the downward side. So look at it. You see how I'm able to do all these things fast? I'm able to do all these things fast because my indicators are already telling me, look at this, this is break of structure, this is break of structure. Yeah, I know what I'm doing, okay, but this indicator just makes me do it faster. So this is a sell order block that had a fair value gap. So this is an imbalance right here. And then we have a break of structure to the downward side. You can see this candlestick close with a body below this swing low, okay. And now we had this wick up, I think mitigated this fair value gap. Not really, it was kind of like a spike. So we might still have to mitigate this fair value gap properly, come down, and then go into the sell order block to then push price lower to this breaker block, this buy breaker block on the 4 hour that we have been refining from the monthly time frame. So now, if you look at this, this is too big to trade off with. If you want to trade off this, except those that trade on the 4 hour time frame, but it's going to be too much to actually set your limit order or whatever in this point. But now we know there is a sell order block here. So now let's come to the 1 hour time frame, which I actually stopped my analysis. Yes, I used to trade 15 minutes in the past, but right now I no longer go to any time frame below the 1 hour, just for a kind of like the higher time frame has more weight. Yes, you can use the 1 minute, the 3 minutes, my previous videos to refine your entry for a more conservative entries. You won't have that small entry with a wide a higher risk to reward ratio, okay. But I already just I'm cool with trading the 1 hour time frame. For me, beautiful. So now we can see now on the 1 hour time frame there is also a supply zone. This is a sell order block. You see, it started from here on the 4 hour. Meanwhile, we can refine it furthermore to this, and you can see this cell had a fair value gap, also broke structure. Beautiful. So now we know what we want to do. So you can see it here. What is the low? This is about 1.17353. Okay, so the low is 1.17353, and then what is the high of this other block? We have 17494. Yeah, 17494. Good, beautifully arranged. Now we know that, okay, we had this sell, massive sell to the downward side. We had a demand here because this was a change of character to the upward side. So initially this was supposed to be a demand zone to hold price, but as we can see, price fell down here and then took out that low. Okay, so hence this demand zone, this buy order block became a sell order block. That's why you see my indicator marks it as a red. So what am I saying? Do I not know all these things? I do, but me using the indicator makes it even more easier for me to identify these things way faster. Okay, so this was a demand zone. This was the last buy, the last sell candle before the upward push, and then it changed character because we were on a downtrend. If you look at it before, yeah, we were on a downtrend, broke structure to the lower side, and then boom, we had this push, change of character to the upward side, and then we were like, okay, the market is going up. So those that wanted to go long might have set their limit order here, so that price will come down and then tap this buy order block to continue higher. But unfortunately, they got stopped out. Okay, I was part of people that took these longs. I got stopped out in this trade last week. Last week is it Thursday? Yeah, last week Thursday. So now it became a sell breaker block, and as you can see, price went back into the sell breaker block and then fell down again. Okay, but unfortunately it couldn't get to this breaker block because probably the orders here was not strong enough to push price that far, and now started having this little bit of consolidation but towards the upward side, and now we are coming for this point. It is obvious and clear we are coming for this sell order block here. So what do you do at this point? What do I do at this point? It's pretty very clear. All I just need to do is, I can set my limit order like this. Yes, so my entry is going to be at the beginning of this order block, which is 1.17353. So entry 1.17353. Yes, and then stop loss is, what's the stop loss? 17494. 174 okay, and then where is my take profit? My take profit is going to be at this breaker block. What's the price of this line again? 16413. So let's copy that and then paste it as my profit target. Okay, this is a very clean top-down analysis. We started on the monthly and then we came. Now, one more thing, one more very important thing you shouldn't skip is, I've been a victim of this. Okay, I lost a couple of trades and I had to look back at what I was doing wrong for me to find out. Okay, you don't want to put your stop loss exactly at this high. Okay, during volatile markets or whatever, price can come and weak you out only to continue lower. Listen, let me quickly show you a quick example of what I'm talking about. Look at this breaker block here. Because I actually hit an SL and I was so pissed on this trade. Happened to me early hours of Friday morning. So look at this breaker block. Okay. So this was a breaker block. After I got stopped out here, I wanted to go short from here. All right. And as you can see, it wasn't a bad trade at all. It wasn't a bad trade at all. So take profit down to this points here, entry here, stop loss. I put my stop loss exactly at the fractal high. And now, what do you see? I think this is actually disturbing. Let's move this away. So you see I got wicked out here. Let me zoom in clearly. I actually hit my SL. I don't know why this risk to reward ratio is showing as if the trade is still okay. Or let's move it. Okay, yeah. I wasn't positioning it properly because I know it was a loss. And I want to explain something with that. So perfect. Now you can see this was a very, very nice setup. A breaker block, this place failed to hold and then price retraced back in. Now, because I put my stop loss exactly at this high, you can see I got wicked out and then price came down, of which definitely I will have broken even at this point and it wouldn't be a full loss. But you can see, so what am I trying to say? Never ever put your stop loss exactly at the high or the low of your order block or your breaker block. Always add some extra pips. Then I asked ChatGPT the best amount of pips to add, and then it suggested me to add 15 to 30 points, which is 30 points is about 3 pips. So I personally just go with the 30. I don't want to use the 15 because it can be so annoying when you did so much work, so much analysis, put your money on the line, and then you end up with something like this whereby you just got wicked out and then price went down. So here we have, now you don't want to repeat the same mistake here. So we've done analysis, beautiful. This breaker block, breaker blocks are being used only once, so it respected it and then now it has toyed coming for this fair value gap. I don't think it mitigated it yet. I think it did or not really, but regardless, now this is the next point. So those that trade fair value gaps who want to take this trade, go down, whatever, and I here I'm going to be waiting for this sell order block here. So we have my entry and then now my stop loss I'm going to add 30 points, which is 3 pips. So 141 plus 30, that's about 123, 171. 171. Good, beautiful. So now we have our stop loss as this. So now this is much more better, 171. So it doesn't matter how price want to like do and then maybe hunt people's stop loss. I will still be in the trade, except something goes way more beyond that. And there we have it. I entered this trade. I'll place this order. I will personally place this order. Okay, once market opens, I'll place this order, and then all you can do is wait. Okay, trading is more of doing your analysis and then more of waiting. You do the analysis, you follow your plan, you have your strategy that works for you, and then you allow the market to do its thing. So now this is about the 5.5 risk to reward ratio. So you can see how I beautifully started from the monthly time frame to the weekly time frame to the daily time frame to the 4 hour time frame and then to the 1 hour time frame. If you want to go lower, 30 minutes, good for you. Okay, there's nothing bad about it, but I personally just started trading the 1 hour time frame and avoid anything lower. Okay, and this is it, right? This is a very, very clean top-down analysis. If you are watching this video up to this very point, that means this video is of value to you. Okay, you can't be watching for like 21 minutes right now and then not click that like button and subscribe button. Come on, I mean, don't be selfish. You are literally getting benefits. It doesn't cost you anything to click that like. It's free. Okay, clicking the subscribe button is free. It's not like you're paying any money. You just help this channel grow, reach out to more audience the same way you were able to find this video. Subscribe. Why? So you can see more of my videos like this, and also YouTube can recommend this video to more people like you who might find this of value. All right, so this is a simple way to do a top-down analysis. If I'm going to make a top-down analysis on USD JPY, this is another pair I trade. um Okay, let's do it. This video is going to be longer, but let's do it. So it's not just like, okay, now let's clear all this. I don't have a setup here, okay, but I'm going to like do a top-down analysis also on USD JPY. I trade two pairs, Euro USD, USD JPY. So now let's do this. I've traded gold, traded so many pairs, but for now, I just stick to Euro USD and USD JPY. Why? Because they are inversely related. Now, on the monthly time frame here, we can see on USD JPY, we can see we have this buy order block, which is a demand zone right here. Okay, we have this demand zone right here. Had a break of structure, and then this. We also had an imbalance. Okay, but look, the imbalance has been mitigated, but it still shows as a fair value gap. The indicator still marks it. Okay, but this is where your actual knowledge needs to come in play. So we have this. Now that's pretty much all we need. Okay, now we want to look at this high here. We want to be conscious of this high here. So now we know we have a high at this point. Now this is the range. Now let's go from the monthly to the weekly and see what the weekly is saying. Okay, beautiful. Now the same high remains. On the weekly, we can see this is a breaker and then this is an order block. Okay, now let's look at things like this. This order block, price came and then we respected this order block, and now price came again, tapping this. To me now, this order block is weak. Okay, you do not want to like trade off this order block. So this is more like, this is a breaker block here, and even this breaker block, if you look at it, this breaker block has already been filled. Okay, this, we had a breaker block here, price went up, came back to fill this breaker block to continue higher. That was what's brought about this buy order block here. So now if you want to look at something that has not yet been touched completely, we're going to be looking at this buy order block here, because price hasn't gotten to that one at all yet. Okay, so here we have it. um yeah, yes. So now this is on the weekly time frame. This is the buy order block here. Okay, pretty nice and easy. Now we are done with that. We want to move to the daily time frame so we can keep refining it much more better. Now the daily time frame, I have to, let's do this. I can't see the lines I drew anymore. Whoa. Okay, this is the high here. Okay, this is the low. Seen it. I was like, where are the lines? So now this is the high that we've been working with. Now on the daily time frame, we can see here that the market is clearly on the downtrend. Clearly on the downtrend here. We are just kind of like consolidating at this point on the daily time frame. Okay, so now where is the nearest sell order block? This is one here. The indicator mark, this is one sell order block here. Okay, we had this push down, reverse up, and then broke structure. So it shows this is a sell order block on the daily time frame. Okay, so price is heading there and it's not really far. It's not too far from there. This is one, this is another one here. So basically, we're going to have a serious issue if, I mean, it's going to be tough technically, except there's a fundamental reason. Technically, it's going to be tough for USD JPY to break through all these sell other blocks here. So to me, looking for longs already, mere looking at this, longs is not looking good. Okay, but let's keep analyzing. We are still on the daily time frame, right? We're still on the daily time frame. So now this was a change of character to the upward side, and then this gave us again a buy order block. But price has already come to fill this order block. So to me, this order block is no longer valid because price has filled it. Yeah, it can still hold, okay, but you do not want to be trading off this. So this is another buy order block. Price has also filled this one. No wonder we have this low. No wonder we have this low here. Okay, so now let's just mark this. Let's just mark this buy order block here like this. Okay, so let's mark this buy order block here. Might change the color to blue. Okay, so which means I didn't change the colors of this. Okay, there was no buy. All right. So now let's move to the 4 hour time frame. Now on the 4 hour time frame, okay, beautiful. This demand can be refined. Let me use a line instead of this. Let me use a line first. Let's use a trend line instead of this. So this is a trend line like this to Friday. So we know from this point is a demand zone on the daily. Okay. So now moving to the 4 hour, so we can keep refining. Yeah, the market is in an option. You see, the beauty and the advantage of doing a top-down analysis is you can see on the 4 hour it looks like the market is going up, but due to the higher time frames, we already know we are going to encounter serious issues, one, two, and multiple like that sell other blocks, which means in which price will find it difficult to kind of like break through at once. So now this is the buy order block on the daily, where's the trend line for the trend line. So now we can further refine it We can further refine it to this breaker block on the 4-hour time frame here. We can further refine it to this 4-hour breaker block here. Beautiful. Okay, good. So now that is one, an unmitigated breaker block here. We had this change of character, break of structure, and now you can see the breaker block also has a fair value gap to the side, which is a very strong point in which price can react from. And then we have another breaker block here. We have another breaker block here. Break of structure to the upward side, giving us a kind of demand zone. Ready? Now let's look to the left. You see, look to the left. Now you can see that we are currently trading in a 4-hour level of supply. We're trading in a 4-hour level of supply on USD JPY here. So now you do not want to be going longs. Okay, you can, but you don't want to be going longs at this point because price is currently inside a 4-hour area of supply. It can break through it, fine, and it might not. So you want to stay and observe. So we literally have one, we have something like this. We have one, you know, up to this point again. So basically we have, can it break through this? If it break through this, would the force be strong enough to still break through this daily area of supply? So most likely at this point we are looking at reversals. Okay, reversals. However, what can we do to confirm our reversals? So now this is a breaker here, and this is an area of demand. Okay, so now this area of demand, which is a buy order block, I personally will be looking for price to reverse, okay, and then this demand wouldn't hold. So this buy order block will become a breaker block. Let's look at it on the 4-hour time frame. Then I can shut it down to these. Okay, beautiful. So now we have, this demand zone here. This is it here on the 1 hour. Good. So now this is a breaker, this is a breaker, we still keep going up, but we are inside the 4 hour. So you don't want, I personally don't want to keep taking longs at this point. You could say, okay, let me set my entry at this breaker block here, which is paired together with an order block, and then you want to continue. But keep in mind you are inside a 4-hour area of supply, so it's not advisable. So I personally will wait for price to come down, okay, might not hold, and then becomes this becomes a breaker block. If price also comes down, this fails to hold, this also becomes a breaker block. So thereby we can have a supply zone on the 1-hour time frame inside a supply zone of the 4-hour, because currently there is no supply zone on the 1 hour here. There's no sell order block on the 1 hour here. So what I'm expecting is for price to go up, and then we have a supply zone inside, come down, take out this area of demand. If we take out this area of demand, this point would now become also a breaker block. Okay, this will become a sell breaker block, and we can go short from here once price kind of like see something like this, and boom, break through this. So when we break through this, then reverse like this, and then you continue downwards. And if the sell momentum is strong enough, we could break through this and still keep going down lower. But really, from the top down analysis, okay, the best option is just to observe on USD JPY at this moment. You want to see what's going to happen. Okay, we know this is a very strong area of breaker blocking which price can come to. Okay, looking at it from the 4 hours here, So looking at it from the 4 hours here, this is a very strong point in which price would want to respect this because this is a breaker block. A breaker block on the 4 hour, also a breaker block in the 1 hour. We have it paired with a fair value cap here. So this is an area of demand. So personally, I want to disregard this other block on the 1 hour, okay, because it's not paired with an other block on the 4 hour. You want to make sure that everything is paired all together. So this is much more better. This other block is much more better. So if price comes break through this other block, then maybe we could look for a short term shots if the risk to reward ratio is pleasant, if the risk to reward ratio is quite good enough. um we could take a shot from here to this breaker block. But me going longs, I wouldn't be going longs. And even this short doesn't really look like it's not a good risk to reward ratio for me. Is it up to 1 to 2? I doubt if it's up to 1 to 2. Nope. No. Nah. Nah. Mm-mm. We don't do negative risk to reward ratios. So can't even shut it down to this point. And if you want to do that, this is okay. If you want to do that, this is a buy order block here. But will price really get down to this point at a go? That's the question. Mm. So let's see it on the 4 hour. Is there any demand zone on the 4 hour? Because to me, if it's not paired, if the 1 hour and the 4 hour are not saying the same thing, uh, that is against my confidence. So on the 4 hour, there's no kind of order block there. So me expecting price to come as deep as this is delusional. Okay, it's delusional. The realistic point is here. So bottom line is I'll just observe USD JPY and see how it goes. If price breaks and then breaks this 4 hour supply zone, okay, and then forms a demand zone after breaking this, okay, then we can, or a breaker block or other block, okay, then we can trade higher to this supply zone on the daily here. But if not, okay, I'll just finger crossed, all right, finger crossed, and then watch how the market reveal itself to me. Okay, patience is virtue. You don't want to trade blindly. You want to trade with data. You want to trade with what you see on the chart and not what you feel or what you want the market to do. The market does not respect your emotions. All right, so this is about almost 30, this is almost 40-minute video. So I was able to do a top-down analysis for you guys on Euro USD and then USD JPY. Um, that's nice. That's nice. All right. So I think this should wrap up the video. This is already almost 40 minutes of, yeah, awesome value. I provided enough value. Um, if you like to see more content like this, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. For now, peace.